A professional earning $250,000 a year can still reach a zero balance by the end of the month. Meanwhile, someone earning a fraction of that amount quietly builds a seven-figure portfolio. The determining factor in these two lives is rarely the number on the paycheck. It comes down to financial development, the process of evolving your relationship with money so it moves from a simple survival necessity to a tool for total independence. Most people stall because they try to skip these steps. They attempt to invest like a millionaire while they are still stuck in a survival mindset, effectively trying to install the roof before they've poured the concrete for the foundation. Breaking the cycle of financial stress requires a shift in what a single dollar represents as you move through 5 distinct stages. Stage 1 is financial survival. At this level, money exists for a single purpose: immediate consumption to get through the next 30 days. This diagram illustrates the survival cycle. Income flows in, but it exits just as quickly through the gaps for rent, groceries, and past due bills. Because there is no margin, the bucket stays empty no matter how much water you pour in. Escaping this stage requires 2 things: tracking every cent with a spreadsheet to see the leaks, and finding ways to increase your baseline income to create the first sign of a surplus. That surplus leads to stage 2, financial stability. Here, money takes on a new role. It becomes a layer of protection. You build an emergency fund that acts as a buffer. When a car repair or a medical bill appears, you have the cash on hand to handle it, which prevents you from falling back into the cycle of high-interest debt. Stability involves plugging these holes by aggressively paying down consumer debt. When you stop losing money to interest payments, the water level in your bucket finally begins to rise. A stable foundation provides the peace of mind needed to stop reacting to today's problems and start planning for next year's opportunities. Stage 3 is financial growth. This is the pivot point where money stops being a shield and starts being an active tool. Take an extra $500. On the left, someone spends it on immediate satisfaction and the capital disappears. On the right, someone puts that money toward a new skill or a brokerage account, turning that cash into a gear that generates future value. Growth happens when you use your surplus to acquire assets, build businesses, or develop high-value expertise that increases your market value. This compounding effect leads to stage 4, financial freedom. At this level, your assets provide something more valuable than any physical purchase: the ability to own your time and dictate your choices. You reach the threshold of freedom when your investments produce enough income to cover your entire lifestyle, making your daily labor optional rather than mandatory. This chart shows the primary obstacle to freedom: lifestyle inflation. When your expenses rise at the same rate as your income, the gap between the two lines remains at 0. You can earn $1 million a year and still have no freedom if your lifestyle consumes every cent. Avoiding that trap allows you to reach stage 5, financial legacy. This is the stage where wealth outlives the person who created it. Legacy focuses on building enduring systems, protecting assets through legal structures, funding the education of future generations, and creating philanthropic impact that continues for decades. Lasting wealth requires transitioning money into a system of permanent impact that serves a purpose beyond your own consumption. Identifying your own position starts with one question: if your income stopped this morning, how many months could you survive before you had to borrow money? Determine if you are currently using your surplus to buy more things, or if you are using it to buy back your future time. Success in this journey comes from focusing on the next immediate step. A person in the survival stage shouldn't be worried about their legacy. They should be focused on creating their first month of breathing room. Once you know your exact stage, your only job is to master the habits required to move to the next one. These 5 stages use money as the medium to secure control, security, and the freedom to dictate your own future and create opportunities for those who come after you.